Phase diagram. A phase diagram is the graph between pressure and temperature. And on there we have our three phases. So there's three phases that a substance can be in: solid, liquid, and gas. If you think about, or if you look at the temperature range here, at low temperatures, it would be a solid most likely. So this area here represents our solid. If we were at medium temperatures, then we are a liquid. And a liquid is usually, when you say your three states of matter, the one that's in the middle. Now gases are typically at high temperatures. So at high temperatures we have a gas. So all of this space down here. So even at low temperature and low pressure you can be a gas. So what do you call it when you transform from a solid to a gas? If you were to cross this line that separates solid and liquid, if you were to cross that line, then you would be melting if you're going the direction of solid to liquid. If you were going liquid to solid, then it would be called freezing. So yes, it's two different phases happening on the same line, it just depends which direction you're crossing. If you were to go from a liquid to a gas, this direction, then that is called boiling or boiling or vaporization or vaporizing. If you were to go the other direction, gas to liquid, then it would be called condensation. So again, two phases happening, equilibrium, just depends which direction you're going. Solid to liquid is called sublimation. And then if we go the other way, that is deposition. So I can actually use this graph to tell what temperature these phase changes would occur at. So if the question says at I used the wrong word. At standard pressure, instead of the word standard, they might say normal. So at normal pressure, at normal conditions, what is the boiling point? Actually, let's change that to freezing. What is the freezing point? So the word, or in this statement, standard and normal pressure. Normal would mean 1 atm. Standard is 1 atm. So I look at my graph at 1 atm. Freezing means solid or liquid to solid. So I go across until I'm at the liquid solid line, and then I can come straight down and see that the temperature is about 20 degrees Celsius. Now we might not all be good at drawing straight lines, so there is some give and take here with the answer, but you have to show where you're getting that answer from. So you need to draw the line from 1 atm to the freezing solid liquid line and then down to get the temperature. Without that, if you don't draw your lines very straight, without showing that, they're not going to understand that you know what you're doing, you just can't draw a straight line. Now if they ask for the normal boiling point, you would take your line from 1 atm and you would go across until you hit the line for boiling, which would be gas to liquid. This substance doesn't have a normal boiling point though, because it doesn't go up to the 1 atm, which is why I changed the question there. But just remember that normal means 1 atm. Normal, 1 atm. There's two other things that this graph tells us. It tells us the triple point and the critical point. The triple point is where all three phases can coexist. So all three phases would mean that I would have to have all three phases at the same point. So where all three of my lines meet is the triple point. So I could tell the pressure for that, and I could tell the temperature for that. So it looks like if we're at 0.75 atm and 20 degrees Celsius, I could have the solid, liquid, and gas phase for this substance at the same time. The critical point, though, is the point at which it would no longer be able to be a liquid. So the critical point is always the point on the graph that it's at the end of the line for liquid and gas. So the critical point would be right here. So the critical pressure, if I was to take this across, might be at point, 90 atm. And the critical temperature would be, it looks like just below 50, so let's say 48 degrees Celsius. At above the pressure and temperature, the substance is no longer able to be a liquid, so it would have to be a gas.